Welcome back to the High Value Man Conversation. This is episode 40, and this has been the episode that I've been looking forward to doing all year, because on this 40th episode, I'm going to share with you the 40 things that I'm going to do before I turn 40 years old, God willing, and it is going to be a stretch list. I'm going to invite you along this journey. So about 125 days from now, depending on when this episode airs, I will be turning 40 years old. That is 4 decades around the planet, man. And I've learned so much over these last 40 years. And I'm so grateful to be able to really step into a season where there is nothing but up from here. And so I've got a little bit of a stretch, a challenge. I got 40 things laid out. And if you're going to watch this on the YouTube, this is definitely an episode you're going to want to check out, because I've got my list here and I'm going to share with you guys where you're going to have an opportunity to join me along this 40 stretch challenge over the next 120 days, and join in on it. And ultimately, more than anything, I want you to celebrate my 40th birthday with me. And so part of the celebration opportunity to come out and join me on my 40th birthday, you're going to have to get conditioned for it, because I know at the end of the day, the thing that has given me the most amount of freedom and fulfillment and success is really overcoming physical greatness, creating physical greatness in your life and making physicality part of my standard philosophy. And so there's going to be a challenge. And you've been following the content for any amount of time. Man, I'm a trainer. I'm a coach at heart. I love doing hard things, and I want to do something difficult and challenging on my 40th, which is going to be a 40-mile run, an ultra marathon. In preparation for an ultra marathon that I'm going to do at the end of the year with a group of guys out here in Texas, a 100-miler. And so I'm just going to get the conditioning dialed in. But I thought, what better way than to celebrate my 40th birthday, doing these 40 things and doing a 40-mile run and inviting you along for the ride. So I'll let you know where it's going to be. I got a couple ideas in mind. We're going to probably do a 10-mile loop. And so if you don't want to do the whole 40 miles, you can join me for part of it. But take the day off, take that week off, September 21st, 2023. It'll be an opportunity to come out, celebrate with me, and get some miles in. But let's get through this list. So I broke the list down to my 4 F's: faith, fitness, family, and finances. And I've got an extra category in there, fun. I was thinking about this. Of all the things that I wanted to do to really live a life of fulfillment, there's a handful of things across my faith, my fitness, my family, my finances, and fun that I want to do before I turn 40 years old. Think of these as bucket list items. If you were going to ask yourself, before your last day comes, before you reach that chapter in life where you just don't have any more opportunity to do all those great things, those fun things, like what are some of the things that you'd absolutely want to do, that you'd absolutely must do to feel a sense of fulfillment? And this list is going to change over the years, but right now I made a list and I came up with 40 items that are going to prepare me for this next season of life, but really some fun, challenging things that are going to help me level up. If you guys have been following the High Value Man content for last year, you know that one of the things that we do is we victory stack. And so our 6 V's, we have vision, values, victories, vices, voice, and vocation. So victories are an essential element to build your confidence and your competence over time. Victories means you're doing things that are challenging that help you level up, develop the skills, develop the new competencies, develop new ways to really grow your confidence so that you can take on greater challenges in life. And so I create a victory stack and list across my faith, my fitness, my family, and finances. They're going to help me grow to the next level. So I'm going to take you through this. If you guys want to follow along, there's going to be opportunity for you to download this victory tracking sheet, my 40 before 40, and to join me along the ride. All right, so let's get into it. So faith, first and foremost. And when I talk about faith, man, I'm talking about a belief-based mindset that you can do, you can be, and you can achieve anything you set your heart out to doing. And so faith is so much more than religion. It really is a relationship with the voice, a relationship with your higher power, a relationship with Christ, a relationship that is built on the fundamental belief that you can truly do anything when you set your mind to it and when you put the Holy Spirit and God behind it. And so I've got some things that are going to build my faith. First and foremost is to read the New Testament in the next 90 days. And so there is a Bible app. It is a great way to get through the content, but I'm going to read the New Testament. That's going to be a checkbox done. I'm going to serve at the church. And so the Mighty Men movement, part of one of the things we do on the path is to serve. And I've got an opportunity to serve from not only parking lot duty, from photography duty, just different ways that I can get out of the comfort and always being so selfish and focus on myself. And so I'm going to get out and serve. I'm going to find a way just to support the local church. And so that's a great thing that I'm going to be adding into the list. The next piece is tithing 10% of the income. I'm excited to share this number at the end of the year. I've tithed more this year and last year than I ever have my entire life. And at the end of the year, I'm going to share with you what that number was. Despite the challenges, the ups and downs in the business, I have been dedicated to giving my first 10% directly to God, directly to the church. And it's tough because, man, when those payments come in, we get paid through, our coaching business. Man, I'm giving that first 10%, and it's not always the first thing that I want to do, but it is such a good act of faith. It is growing my belief that, man, God's got a bigger plan. So I'm going to continue doing that 10% of the income, and there's going to be a great number that I get to really celebrate on my 21st birthday. My 40th birthday coming up in September 21. Some fasting, because fasting helps build your faith. I got already done a 24-hour fast in food and social media. I'm going to move that up to 48 and 72 hours. So these are a couple of the items that I'm due to build my faith. And when I'm talking about no social media, I'm saying I'm not going to post. I'm not going to get in the DMs. I'm not going to look at my phone. It's going to go in a lockbox, and I'm going to completely disappear off the grid for 24, 48, and 72 hours. And at the same time, fast from food. This will be a water-only fast, really focusing on my devotion, my dedication, and really just disconnecting. If you haven't looked into a dopamine fast before, where you're getting that constant stimulation from always being on social media, it's a really good mental reset. So I'm going to use that as part of my programming coming up. And then I got 7 books that I'm going to read thoroughly, and I'm almost done with one of them. My process for personal development, I always think about not only reading a book, but I listen to the book as well. And so I'm an auditory learner. I wanted to really absorb as much of the content as possible. And I choose books based on my next chapter of life, where I'm moving into. And I'm going to be stepping into an avenue of business development coaching through the arm of High Value Man Accelerator. I'm getting my EOS certification, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System. I'm going to be a certified implementer here within the next month. And so I want to be able to really understand how to be a really good second in command inside of other people's businesses, to better integrate and implement, support the visionaries, support the integrators in the business, understand the fundamentals of being that operational role. And there's also some new things showing up in my world, also in regards to some new business opportunities. And so I really want to get the mindset behind that. So I've got 7 books laid out that are going to help me be the best version of myself in this next chapter. And the books are Think and Grow Rich, first and foremost. And so that book is fundamental to your personal development, your wealth building, and you're really thinking. And so that's book number 1. Almost done with it all the way through, but I've listened to it on audio, and I'm also reading it and getting some takeaways. I'm also taking my guys through it right now, my coaching clients. Second book is Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz. This is another mindset book. And from a mindset standpoint, it's one of the greatest books written in the same vein as Think and Grow Rich, where it helps you think differently. So, and you guys haven't picked up on this, I've read these books already. I believe there should be probably about 5 to 10 books that you read multiple times throughout your lifetime, so you really extract the lessons. Depending on where you are at your your personal development, there's going to be books that you read over and over again. And so Emotional Intelligence 2.0 is one I always revisit. No More Mr. Nice Guy is one that I read probably 10 times over the last 10 years at different seasons in life. But Think and Grow Rich, Psycho-Cybernetics, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad are 3 that I keep in rotation as well, because they're just fundamentally really good books to get you to think bigger outside the box, especially as you're stepping into new seasons in entrepreneurship or business development. So I'm priming my tank. These are 3 books I'm going to read, listen to again, review the content, and just get myself into the right mindset. I'm going to also reread Traction. This is the book written by Gino Wickman, who is the founder of EOS Worldwide. As I'm stepping into this new season as an EOS implementer, I'm going to do a refresher on that. Then Influence by Robert Cialdini. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but this is a book on persuasion and marketing. It's a fundamentally great book for anybody that has any type of direct sales roles inside of their business. And then 2 new books that were recommended to me that I haven't read yet that I'm excited to get into. Cameron Herold, who I've had some interactions with in the past. He is the COO coach, so Chief Operating Officer. He coaches those second in commands, but the book is called The Second in Command, written by Cameron Herold, and the other one is Riding Shotgun, the role of the COO. Again, I really want to get into the mindset of what a good COO, a second command inside of a business looks like, what their mindset like, how they can best support the CFO, the CEO, the visionary. Again, as I step into this role of implementer, integrator, as my coaching business matures, I want to really understand that mindset so I can be a really good tool for businesses as they're growing and scaling. So that's the aspects of the faith. And the last one is I want to plan a mission trip. I want to be able to really serve, share my testimony, and get out there in the field sometime in 2024. And so I want to get that on the calendar. So this is 8 items across my faith that I'm going to have done before I turn 40 years old. And I'll be sharing with you guys as I check these off. Let's talk about fitness. Fitness is exciting, man. I've always loved fitness, from the opportunity to really take an immediate goal, set a benchmark for it, to achieve it. And so a lot of my fitness goals right now are based around running, because I have 2 big endurance races that I want to do this year. 100-miler at the end of the year, which I'm doing with Steve Weatherford and a whole bunch of guys out here in Elevate Life. It's an open invite, by the way. If you want to join us, you want to be prepared for it and train for us, shoot me a DM. Love to have you as part of the crew. In order to prepare for that, I'm going to do an ultra marathon on my birthday week. So it's either September 21st, I think it's a Wednesday or Thursday, or sometime that weekend. And that's going to be an open invite as well. I'll share more details as we get a little bit closer, but you better prepare for it. The plan is to have a 10-mile loop and to do as many laps, so 4 laps to get that 40-miler done. But if you want to come out and do 1 lap with us, I think that'd be really fantastic and be a great way to celebrate my birthday with you. To get ready for the 40-miler on my 40th birthday, as one of the 40 things I'm going to do beforehand, I've been preparing for it since last month. So I've been running 4.44 miles every single day for the month of April. For the month of May, I am running 5.55 every single day for the month of May, and a little bit over halfway through the month of May. It's feeling amazing. My body was a little bit sore, but I just feel like a gangster, feeling so accomplished by that. I'm going to also commit to doing 7.77 every day for the month of July. In June, I plan to run a marathon and a half marathon. And then as we approach August, I'm toying with the idea of doing 8.88, but potentially might do the half marathon. So I'm ready for that ultra marathon in September. But that is my training program too. So if you want to hop on, join me for the 40-miler that's going to happen in September. Follow along with this. It's going to get you enough time on feet to get you well prepared for that ultra marathon or that ultra marathon at the end of the year. Now, here's the thing. All this running, I don't want to lose my strength or my aesthetic. I don't want to have that frog butt that so many runners get. Yes, if you're a runner, you know what I'm talking about. It looks like a pancake on the side of your ass. I want to have that bubble butt that I like having, that holds my jeans up. I still like it having a little bit of thickness back there. And I also want to maintain my aesthetic. And so when I take my shirt off, I want to turn heads, because that's just part of the look and the brand. I like being fit. I like being aesthetically proud of what I look like. I like being proud of the man in the mirror. And so all the running, I know I got to maintain my calories at a certain point, maintain my protein, maintain my recovery. And I also need to make sure that I'm maintaining my strength. And so I've got some fitness stretches that I'm going to do to make sure that I'm still hitting those benchmarks as I approach my 40th. First one is going to be squatting 225 for 25 reps unbroken. So I can do this now. And so I'm going to redo this again as the mileage picks up, probably in June, just to make sure I maintain my strength. Bench press 225 times 10. Again, this is really just a vanity and a strength thing to make sure that fundamentally I don't lose my aesthetic or my strength as I put this mileage up on the body. 20 strict pull-ups. So right now I can only do 17, and these are strict. I'm talking all the way down, elbows locked out. And so I got an upper body physical goal of doing 20 strict pull-ups sometime between now and September 21st when I turn 40. Maintaining single-digit body fat. This is a non-negotiable for me year-round, no matter what. And so I step on the body fat scale. Also, just make sure that I have visible abs. Not even just visible abs that I do to maintain single-digit body fat. I want to make sure that I still got the veins, the lower ab veins. That's important to me. Again, this is a total vanity piece, but really at the end of the day, maintaining my aesthetic lets me know that I'm disciplined with my food intake and also make sure that I'm staying on track with making sure my muscle mass is good. In regards to the fitness, just because I like to challenge myself, and I've never been able to do this, but I don't want to hit 40 years old and not be able to do 30 consecutive double unders. But man, you should see me on a jump rope. I look like an elephant. My jump rope skills are dismal, and for a guy that's pretty quick on his feet and that is fairly coordinated as an athlete, I want to get better at this one fundamental skill. So I want to be able to check box that I can do double unders. And so I've got 3 things that are going to say that this is going to be done. Number 1, 1 minute continuous jump rope. For a guy that can run marathons and ultra marathons right now, my ability to jump rope up and down on my calves is struggles. So I struggle at 1 minute right now. And so I want to be able to do that well. And so I'm going to build up to 3 minutes after I get the 1 minute done. And then I'm going to do 30 consecutive double unders. And for me, that's going to be a checkbox done. I know how to do this. I can add that as a tool in my arsenal. And I can also say that I've done it and it no longer has to hunt me as a big, heavy elephant trying to jump around on a jump rope. Then from a fitness goal side, helping my clients, I've got a handful of clients that are working with me one-on-one, and I want to help them lose a total of 100 pounds. Right now, we're at about 35. And so we got some LBs still to lose for a handful of these guys. And so that's going to be a big push for me to make sure that I'm always focusing out. The last 2, man, it's been a while. I haven't been punched in the face in a while. And there's a couple guys that I'm hanging out with up here in Frisco, and we have teed up a monthly get together where we're going to spar. And so we've got some boxing gloves, we got headgear, we've got some mouthpieces, and we're going to get together and just spar, be able to go in the ring, fight club style, throw it all out. And so I want to get punched in the face. If you've never been punched in the face, I got to tell you, it is one of those things that as a man is just fundamental. You got to get punched in the face. I'm sure there's plenty of people online that have been following the account that would love to punch me in the face. Well, if that is the case, come out to Mighty Men Movement in Frisco, Texas, Elevate Life Church. Come join us for one of these and maybe get an opportunity to punch the fit beard in the face. On the flip side of that, I also want to punch somebody in the face. I've missed the physical contact as I've been doing a lot of more training like for the marathons and the running. I just haven't been in martial arts in a while. I miss it. I miss jujitsu. I miss the contact sport. I miss owning the gym. We had that Legacy Fitness gym back in the day, and I miss just the contact of it. I will shift some of my training program probably next year, but I really want to hyper focus on this ultra marathon at the end of the year. So my training has really been focused around that. So those are the fitness things that I'm going to do before I turn 40. God willing, God bless this. Family side. So I got a weekly date night. This has been something that I've been doing for quite some time, but it is a non-negotiable. And even this season when Rachel and I have been taking a little bit of space, I still do a weekly date night with myself. And so that is just, again, a non-negotiable. Very grateful, very blessed. Again, God willing, we're spending a little more time together, and I'm blessed and grateful to be able to celebrate her on a weekly basis. And the date night doesn't always have to look the same. That's the big key. If you're in a relationship, my friends, your date night should be interactive. It should be enjoyable. It should be something new. And if you don't have a lady, or you and your lady are not yet at the point where you can do a weekly date night, you need to take yourself out on a date. And so I've been taking myself on a date for probably the last 3 years. Every single week I do something that's special, out of the ordinary. Make sure I prioritize time alone without my phone. It's not distraction time. Take myself to a movie, take myself to dinner, do something fun and engaging, because if you can't enjoy your own company, how can you ever expect anyone else to? So weekly date night is a non-negotiable that I've been doing for a while. Daily love notes for my future wife. Man, I'm a lover. I'm a romantic. I'm so blessed to be able to have someone that I can direct that attention to. But even in the seasons when I haven't, I started doing something about 3-4 years ago. I was in between a relationship where I started writing a love note to my future wife. It was just this future person on what I most admired, look forward to, and it helped me really formulate what I was looking for in a relationship. And so I still continue to do that. And it's just a future love note, whether she gets it or not. It keeps me in the frame of mind of anticipating, expecting, and really putting into the universe what I hope to get back. What I want to start doing that I haven't done yet, and this idea just came to me as I was building out this family side, is I want to be able to start building a lesson book for my future son. And so, God willing, I hope to have a son and a daughter at minimum. I'd love to have 3 kids, but I hope to have 2 at least, a son and a daughter. And I want to be able to have some lessons from everything that I've learned over the years. Things I want to pass on to him. I think about, where I really wish my dad would have stepped up and done a better job leading, done a better job of really just setting an example. But I think more so than anything, because I didn't have that, I get to create it. And so I'm going to create a lesson book for my future son, things that I wish I would have known at different ages of life, And so I'm going to write these down. I'm probably going to do it in an actual book rather than a digital copy, but just something I could pass on to him as an heirloom. And, it moves me thinking about it. There's so much that I've done in my life, and I think about the one thing that I'm going to do really, really well. Again, God willing, I'm going to be a great father. I'm going to be a legendary husband. I'm going to be an amazing dad. And I'm so looking forward to that season. And so I'm going to start putting down those lessons and just sharing it. And so as I approach 40, I think this is a great time to really think about that, stepping into this next season. And man, it's tearing me up thinking about it. But I know I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm going to start a lesson book for my future son. On the same note of that, man, I've done so much healing and forgiving of different relationships in my life. And so one of the things that I'd like to accomplish within the next 120 days or so is I'd love to interview my dad on the HVM podcast. So I did a podcast with my mom about 10 episodes ago, and it was such a cool conversation to be able to have on record. And so, as we step into this new season, here's the thing, for you fathers out there, for you husbands out there, is all of our life is now documented. So your kids are going to be able to look back on how cool would it be for your son and your grandkids and your future lineage and legacy to be able to look back at podcasts or an Instagram post or the different things you've done. If the stars align and he agrees to and he's willing, I want to interview my father on the High Value Man conversation, be able to have that, something that can be an archived, something I can pass on to my kids, just so that they know who their dad is from his voice, hear us have some conversation and just be able to really build his own family tree and lineage from that. So that's something I want to be able to accomplish. And then I've got a secret mission inside of Family Side, which I'm not going to share with you because it's just not something to be shared until I get to celebrate what it is that's shared. And so I got a secret mission here, and it's in the category of family. It's in the category of love, and I'm praying a big circle around it. But it's something that I'd be very excited to share with you when that time comes. So I'm just going to leave that there. All right, so we're on to finances, my friend. So we got faith, we've got our fitness, we got the family dialed in, finances. When I talk about finances with my clients across the category, it's not just making money. It's about the things that will create wealth inside of your life. Finances are the results of the actions that you've been living. And so when it comes down to finances, there's a handful of things as I'm thinking about my future career in the development and coaching. I've been coaching for 10 years now. I love coaching. I'm never going to stop coaching. I'm at a season now. I was like, man, I love coaching people in their fitness, but I also don't want to spend that much more time doing it because it's so automated. And I've coached people in their lifestyle, their mindset, and I've helped disciple people. I've coached people in their business launches. But what I really am evolving towards, because I've seen so much greatness and breakthrough with this, is when you put principles in place over your personality. And so principles, as the processes are laid out from a biblical standpoint or from a coaching standpoint, allow you to get predictable results that are not dependent on personality. And so let me share where I came to this insight as to the direction I'm going to be taking in my future is I have been a personality-based coach for the last 10 years. People have fallen in love with my personality. They either love me or they hate me. They have been a part of the gyms I've been part of, the fitness coaching, the movements, Project Swire, Battle Ready, the High Value Man Accelerator. All that has been very personality-based, even though there have been principles and structure behind it. The issue with that is it doesn't create long-term scalability or ultimate freedom for myself. And it also doesn't create predictable results for the clients. Personality and a personality, man, we're always going to be attracted to certain personalities, but we also should be focusing on what are the principles that we're teaching. I fell in love with a process and a principle-based coaching program about 4 years ago. I was introduced to a book called Traction. Traction has a process and a principle-based formula inside called the EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. When I got exposed to this, we implemented it inside of Fit Body Bootcamp and then True Lean Nutrition. It's been the structure for the project, Battle Ready. It's got meeting tempos. It creates predictability around a set core processes. It is a principle-based process that allows you to get predictable results. And when I saw this, I was like, fundamentally, this is awesome because any personality can step inside of that and start creating predictable results. And it's not personality dependent, which means it is infinitely scalable. Same thing, the reason why I fell in love and really started walking with Christ is that the principles inside of the Bible are not personality dependent. There are principles, fundamentals. There's the entire book of Proverbs that are a set of guideposts and really rules where if you follow by the principles, you get predictable results. And I've seen that in my own life. And so I'm deploying that now as the new season as I step forward into this more evolved version of future coaching. And so I'm excited for that. And so I'm going to complete my EOS implementer certification here probably within the next 45 days. It's a massive outlay of financial funds and also some studying. And so my goal within the next 90 days is to land 3 clients. I've got one lined up. I've got a second one there's a potential, and then to find that third one. So that'll be a win for me between now and my 40th. Number 29 across finances of the 40 items I'm going to do before I turn 40 is I'm going to help 10 clients generate at least 10K from coaching. So I've got a handful of coaches that I'm coaching. And right now I've got 4 that I have done well over $10,000. I've got another 3 or 4 that are on deck, and I got a handful more that are still just getting ramped up. And so I'm really excited to share all the tools that I've learned over the years to build a coaching business, to be able to take your message and turn it into your mission, to turn your misery into your ministry, and really leverage your struggle and turn it into your story. And so I'm excited to do that. And I've got a handful of coaches that are really close in this. So this would be something I'm so grateful to check off. And then I've got my first live event. So I'm excited about this, man. We've got a live event coming up June 8th through the 11th. It is a coaching boot camp. So if you are a coach, a content creator, somebody that's got a message you want to take off, one of the biggest struggles so many coaches run into is their ability to create content and write their good captions and creative. And so I'd say my 5% is creativity, being able to come up with ideas, write good copy that converts, generates conversations. And also I love being behind a camera and helping direct. And so I'm going to put together this weekend, and we've got a handful of guys already signed up. It's going to be out here in Dallas, Texas, but multiple locations, teach them how to storytell, share their message. And so this is going to be the first live event. So our first little mastermind. I'm really excited for it. So that's coming up here. I'm going to check box that. And then on the finances side, I'm going to do an adult thing and get my will in place. I'm going to die at some point. You are too. And I've never even thought about doing this until recently. I've got life insurance policies, but man, I've got so many other things that if someone else had to step in and clean up the mess, I'd feel really sorry for them. So I'm going to get my final expenses, all that stuff dialed in. Not that I'm planning on dying anytime soon. I hope to live to 103 years old. You heard it here first. 103. I want to have kids and grandkids. I want to be a springy mofo at 103. I want to be able to enjoy a beautiful life, and I want to be able to enjoy a beautiful wife and just all the prosperity and abundance that God has in plan for me. But if I don't, I want to make sure I've got my will in place, so whoever steps in has got everything dialed in and is well taken care of. And so that's just a responsible thing that I feel like I got to do. Along with that, I probably need to get a full physical and do a prostate exam. I keep hearing like late 30 and 40-year-olds saying that's just something that has to be checkbox, but it's not on this list. Probably should be on some list at some point. All right, so the fun items. So this is some things I want to check off the box, and so I'm going to be sharing this on social media, guys, but there's a handful of things that I'm excited about doing. One, I want to go skydiving. I want to go skydiving talking about this. I'm scared shitless of jumping out of a plane, but I want to do it. I want to jump out of a plane and hopefully not die. So I'm gonna get my life insurance and my I already have life insurance. I'm gonna get my will in place prior to jumping out of a plane, just from a good process standpoint. But I want to jump out of a plane because I feel like that'd be very exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. I know how to salsa dance. I'm a pretty good gangster when it comes to salsa dancing. One of the stretches I did about 7-8 years ago, man, I wanted to learn how to lead a woman on a dance floor. I feel very confident in Latin and just kind of general dancing. I feel good. But I'd say country swing is something very new, especially being out here in Dallas, Texas. I got a couple pairs of boots. I don't yet have a cowboy hat. I don't think I'm going to get one. My ears stick out too much. But I'm going to learn how to country swing dance, and that's going to be something I'm going to check off the list before I turn 40. Learn how to juggle. Again, this is very random, but I feel like it's one of those things that would help improve the other skills, especially the skills of like getting punched in the face or not getting punched in the face. And so it'll improve my eye-hand coordination. Fundamentally, like, I'm a pretty good athlete, but when I think about this, there's definitely some synapses that I can improve across the whole chain. And so I'd like to learn how to juggle. I think it'd be a pretty cool little skill to have. And learn how to play poker and win a game of poker. So, man, I'll be almost 40 years old, and I don't know how to play poker. I don't know how to play traditional poker, and I know how to play blackjack. I enjoy blackjack, but if I was going to sit down, like have a poker night and smoke cigars, eat some chips, and drink some cheap beer, not that I would do all those things, I'd probably eat some chips and smoke a cigar. But like having a poker night with the boys, I just feel like sounds really cool, and I have been invited to those in the past, but I've never gone because, frankly, I don't know how to play. And so I'm going to learn how to play poker. I'm going to win a game, and I just want to have that done before I turn 40. Take a cooking class. I'm a pretty good cook, but I stick to fundamentals, and so I'm going to take a cooking class because it's one of the feathers I'm going to add into my hat to be a legendary husband, and excited about that. And so maybe I'll even make that a date night, is learn how to take a cooking class. Sing karaoke. So originally when I wrote this out, I wanted to play a musical instrument and do it like proficiently and be able to play a song, but I realized that would be a little bit rushed. I got a lot of other things planned, still running a business, social life, everything else. And so if I'm going to take on learning how to play an instrument, I want to give myself a proper amount of time, probably a year. Originally it was going to be learn how to play the guitar or the piano, but recently I went to church a couple weeks ago, or last week, with Rachel, and we were sitting there and we were looking at all the musicians, and the guys that was having the most fun was the guy on the drums. He's just banging away on the drums, and I was like, man, you know what, if I'm going to learn how to play something, I want to learn how to bang really well. So maybe it'll be the drums. All right. So karaoke instead is going to be my option. It's going to allow me to get over that fear of tone and cadence and sing in front of people. And so I'm gonna do a karaoke night. This one is not gonna happen, I think, really well before my 40th birthday, but I would like to have a greater respect for the meat that I eat. And so I want to go on a hunting trip. I want to be trained up. I want to learn how to really operate either a bow or a gun. I want to be able to know the whole process in case we go into zombie apocalypse and I got to hunt, kill, and quarter and provide. Man, I love eating steak, but I don't think I could tell you where it's cut from or how to do it properly. And so one of the bucket list items I want to get done is schedule a hunt and a kill and learn how to properly quarter an animal. And then I want to eat it. I want to eat it, and I want to go through the whole process. I think it's going to deepen my respect for just how easy we have it, period, right? And so we just order our food. Like Whole Foods gets delivered to the house. I love that I get organic grass-fed meat delivered to the house, but I want to be able to fundamentally really understand the whole process behind it. And I think it just gives me a greater level of respect. And so that's something I want to add. I want to paint a picture. If you guys don't know this, I'm actually a gangster artist. I'm very good at freehand drawing. I think it's part of my creative side, my romantic side. I'm also very good at looking at a picture and reproducing it. So I want to paint a picture. I don't know how big it's going to be, but I've got an easel and some canvas in the garage. And so one of the things I'm going to get done before my 40th, I got an image in mind I think I want to paint. I'm going to paint a picture. And then the last one, my number 40 on my 40th, 40 things I'm going to do is I'm going to have an awesome birthday party with some friends, family, and loved ones. And that's my list. So 40 things I'm going to do before I turn 40. Today is May 17th. And so I don't know the math on that, but it's like 120 something days, 123 days maybe. And so basically I have 4 months to accomplish all these things. I'm going to share this on social media. I'm going to give you an opportunity to opt in and stay updated, join my email list, and also see this original sheet where I'm going to put some notes next to it. I'm going to put the dates next to it. I'm going to be directing a lot of my social media copy and content over the next 100 days or so towards this. And I want to encourage you to join me on this stretch. Any piece that you want to pick up, across your faith, your fitness, your family, your finances. If you have your own stretches that you want to do, I want to encourage you and challenge you. The main reason why I launched the High Value Man Accelerator, if you guys have been following that content, and the Pam problem, that passive aggressive man, he's passive with his hopes, his dreams, his desires. He's passive with all the things he wants, women, work, and the world. Well, passivity is slow cancer, my friend. Your dreams are not going to happen until you start taking action. And so stop living passively, hoping, wishing, wanting. Start creating your own game plan. Create your personal development game plan, your 40 before 40, whatever it is. In the next 100 days, what could you accomplish with massive intentionality? Some of these things cost money. Yes, I don't disagree on that. So make more money. What are the 7 to 10 books that you need to read to develop your wealth mindset? Yes, some of these things are going to be challenging physically. Great. What are the things that you need to be doing? Put down the Doritos, my friend, in the next 100 days so you can physically accomplish your greatest hopes, dreams, and desires. Yes, some of these things are going to require a beautiful person in your life, that wonderful woman. Well, who would you need to become across your faith, your fitness, your family, and your finances to attract that high value woman? Yes, some of these things are going to push you outside of your comfort zone. Great. Don't you want to die knowing that you truly, truly lived your greatest potential? Or do you want to live in regret and doubt, sitting in the passenger seat as Robin, not Batman? Man, I tell you what, I don't only want to get to the end of my life and hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant," knowing that I lived to my God-given talents, gifts, and abilities. But I want to get to the end of my life truly knowing that I didn't have anything left undone. And so stretch yourself between now and September 21st. If you're going to join me on this 40 before 40 challenge, stretch yourself personally, professionally, spiritually, stretch yourself in some capacity. And then not only stretch yourself, but make the public declaration that you're going to do the thing. This is going out to all my podcasts, my listeners, my social media following, and not because I think I am so high and mighty, but because I am willing to put myself forward. I'm willing to fail forward. I'm willing to mess up. I'm willing to get up. I'm willing to put it all out there because I want to live boldly, unashamed. I want to give my very best. No matter how many days God gives me left, I want to make sure I live to my very greatest potential. Because why else would you want to live any other way? And so I'm excited to share this with you guys. I'm excited to go on this challenge. I'm excited to document it. And I'm excited to connect with you throughout this stretch. And then as we get close to it, September 21st, 2023, the 40th on 40, man, I'd love to run with you too. And so part of the vision that I've got for this is to open up the run to anybody that is willing, well prepared, just wants to show up and be challenged. Anybody that's been following the journey for any amount of time. Man, I don't celebrate my birthdays that often, but this is a big one. I've been asking for some big things this year from not only a business standpoint, but relationship standpoint, the future that I want, the wife and the life that I want. I've been asking for some big things. I'm praying some big things. So all of this is a sacrifice, an opportunity to truly live up to that, my greatest potential. So all that being said, man, I love to see you there, and hope that you encourage, and support the journey as we get into this. And if you got any questions about this, or maybe you want to join me for some of these challenges, shoot me a DM, reach out, man. I love doing this work. I love that I've been able to take my journey, my process, and share it with you. The last 10 years has been a personal development rocket ship. I've been learning so much, growing so much, and we're just getting warmed up. And I know that from here on up, it's only going to get better. It really does. It only gets better. This is my 40 before 40, and it's going to be a challenging list. It's a little bit daunting, but man, I'm so excited for it and excited to celebrate with you here in about 100 days. All right, my friends, as always, much love, many blessings. God bless, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Boom.